But here's the twist. You cannot take the favorite. So you have to take somebody who is second, third, or fourth on the odds list. So we'll start with AL MVP. Of course, the favorite is Aaron Judge at minus 125. I think everybody is expecting him to win it unless there's some sort of injury. So you cannot take Aaron Judge. So Jinx, take your pick from the next list here. Gunnar Henderson of Baltimore, Juan Soto of the Yankees, or my favorite, he won't win it, but kid that I love watching play, Bobby Witt Jr. of the Royals.
Juan Soto.
Plus 500.
Yes. I believe, I always just put little sprinkles here and there. I need to check, but I think I took Aaron Judge back when he was like 4 or 5 to 1. Because remember, Juan Soto led this race really early on. It was Soto, and now they've switched places. So why not a little sprinkle on Soto now at 5 to 1, right? Yeah, plus money either way. I'm not laying minus money on Aaron Judge, even if I could take him, but I can't. But it's got to be Juan Soto, right, of the guys on this list. Gunnar Henderson has been great, by the way, so I understand why he's just maybe slightly more favored here. But I think Soto's probably the way to go here.
I think as far as track record goes, Juan Soto certainly has the ability to keep this up. But let me mention somebody else. And the reason that I brought about the whole conversation about speed is Bobby Witt Jr. I don't know if you have seen him on the Base Pass, but Fangraphs now has him ranked as the fastest player in Major League Baseball. And right now, nobody has a higher defensive wins above replacement than Bobby Witt Jr. And maybe this is the one thing that he has over guys like Aaron Judge, somebody who defensively is very good, but he's not on the level of Bobby Witt Jr. And he doesn't have the stolen bases, because I've talked about this all the time. You need the sexy stat. And in the end, it's probably going to be whoever hits the most home runs, which will probably end up being Aaron Judge. But Bobby Witt Jr. has one of those sexy stats as well as far as stolen bases go. In the American League, he has the second most stolen bags on the season at 21. We know he has the pedigree, too. Like, his dad was pretty damn good in the major league. So I think the question for Bobby Witt Jr. is, can he keep this up? Because right now, the numbers are fantastic. He's hitting 327 on the year, OPS at 928. But I don't know if it's sustainable, because that's the thing. When you're buying somebody like Juan Soto, I think you kind of know that the chances are he will continue to have a great year. I'm not sure if there's a fall off for Bobby Witt Jr., but Jeff Passan, who is a writer for ESPN, just did a huge write-up on Bobby Witt Jr. So maybe the other writers will take notice, because that's the thing about Bobby Witt Jr. He's going to need to do some campaigning if he wants to win MVP. So I think this is a step in the right direction. So just wanted to throw that out there. Bobby Witt Jr., a very fun player to watch.
I love Witt. And the question for me, and I'll put it to you guys as well, how much do the Royals sticking around the entire year, if they make the wild card and he hits over 330 home runs, do you suddenly go, well, yeah, of course the Yankees won the division. They're stacked.
Yeah.
He led a Royals team who was supposed to suck. They were picked, I think, 4th or 5th, and every publication said this team was going to be terrible. And then they end up as a wild card? Do you then give him more credit for that?
I think you should. I wonder if baseball writers would.
Okay.
I think that's the right way to look at it. I also think, and this is without knowing any baseball writers personally, but there is that gravitas that the Yankees have where they say it's the Yankees and look at how they've dominated. I personally would say, yeah, they should, like you're talking about. And they're going to get Garrett Cole back tomorrow night. Yeah. So you're going to say, yeah, this Yankees team is stacked. They can sustain injuries and still keep plugging along because they're so good top to bottom. The Royals couldn't do that without Bobby Witt. I think that's the right way to look at it. I just don't know if the writers would vote that way.
All right, fair enough. All right, NL MVP. Go ahead, Chelsea.
I wanted to say one thing before we move on. MVP in baseball is not the same as MVP in football or basketball, for that matter. Sometimes the success of the team does not matter, or else Mike Trout would have never won this award playing for the Angels, who haven't been in the postseason since God knows when. So Ohtani's won this award despite his team being terrible. We saw, I think, a couple years ago, Paul Goldschmidt won it with St. Louis. So this is very much an individual award. So buyer beware, buying in on a player simply because of the team being good.
Yeah, Andre Dawson won it back in the 80s when the Cubs finished dead last. So absolutely, it's happened in the past. Unfortunately, it's just a lot of times people go, oh, look, but the Yankees won 105 games. Aaron Judge was their leader. So, yeah, I'm rooting for Witt, but, yeah, I'm with you guys. All right, NL MVP. Your favorite now is Shohei Ohtani at plus 185. You cannot take him. So, Chelsea, Bryce Harper plus 300. Fernando Tatis Jr. of the Padres plus 950. Marcelo Ozuna, which is a sneaky guy to be in there with the Braves at plus 1,000, or Freddie Freeman at plus 1,500. Ozuna's former teammate. I think they were on the Braves at the same time for at least 1 year.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
so who do you got?
Marcelo Ozuna was the guy that said, do you know who I am? When he got pulled over, I think, for like a DUI or something.
Correct.
Love when guys pull that card. But do you know who he is? When it comes to his home runs, I'm going to go with Marcelo Ozuna here. He leads the National League in home runs right now, 20 homers on the season, hitting 321, OPS over 1,000. And plus, he has some protection in the lineup. You can't pitch around him. So he's somebody who's playing on a good team. Sometimes I do think that is kind of contagious. It's hard to take it away from Ohtani, but I will say the knock on both of these guys is that they're DHs. So they're not bringing anything to you on the defensive side of things. Maybe that's where you can argue for somebody else taking the crown here. But still, I think it's probably Ohtani's award to win, especially now that Mookie Betts is down. I thought this award was gift wrapped for Mookie Betts, but now he has broken his hand. He is going to miss, 6 to 8 weeks at least of the season. So now I feel like it's probably Marcelo Ozuna for me. But you could make a good case for several guys on this list.
I'd go with Bryce. I know it's only 3-1, but just sort of like the Phillies tend to heat up in the second half of the season. Now, this year, they've been great right since the start of the year. Best home team in baseball. But Bryce sort of goes along that way as well. He batted .245 in April. He's batting .327 this month. So he's starting to heat up as well. And Bryce is one of those guys, as long as he doesn't get injured, will continue to get better as the season has gone on or goes on. That's sort of how his career has gone. He just gets better and better the more pitches he sees. So I'll stick with Bryce at 3-1. It's an obvious pick. I feel like it's low-hanging fruit, but you can't go wrong with Bryce.
And they got Trey Turner back now,
Yep.
so the Phillies are going to be really, really good. By the way, and Jinx, you've lived here. Does it pain you as a Nationals fan to see Trey Turner's back with the Phillies?
Yes.
Bryce Harper's back up in Philadelphia. MVP candidate Juan Soto. MVP candidate. It's the entire lineup that they had here for a number of years.
It's an absolute killer.
Very disappointing.
It's an absolute. But I will say, at least Bryce doesn't have a title. So
That's fair point.
But you guys
point.
won
All
a World Series. Can you be that bitter if you won a title? Like, you got something for it.
Yes, but also when you think about, if you're talking, yes, it was a great year. They got the title. But also when you think about the talent that could have been in place for the long term, I mean, it's mind-blowing.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
Year 1, 2, 3, you go Turner, Harper, Soto. I mean,
Stupid.
forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. Yeah. It's really disappointing.
Yeah, but you have Patrick Corbin remaining.
Oh, God, Chelsea.
We do.
we got.
He also has a ring.
He has a ring.
All right, real quick, NL Cy Young. Your favorite is Ranger Suarez at plus 375. Not going to let you take him. So Jinx, Zach Wheeler plus 450, Tyler Glasnow plus 450, Shota Imanaga plus 650, or Chris Sale, sneaky at plus 1200. I'm going to give you a hint. That's where I would go.
I'm glad you said that. 9-2 this season. ERA under 3. Gave him 2 runs last night against the Tigers. I think he's had 2 bad outings all season long. And this is a guy who finally looks like he's going to be healthy for the long term, right? It looks like he's just a different pitcher than he was when he pitched elsewhere. Chris Sale at 12-1. Yes.
How many times are we going to do this segment and I say, I'm taking Chris Sale? I feel like I've taken Chris Sale like 5 times on the show. So once again, I am coming to you like the Bernie Sanders meme. I once again am urging you to take Chris Sale to win the Cy Young at 12-1. Talk about somebody with strikeout stuff. Again, you need the sexy stat to win the Cy Young. And Chris Sale has the sexy stat of strikeouts. Somebody who is striking out well over 10 per 9. Or whatever metric you want to use for pitchers, and somebody who has a track record of consistency. Before he was hurt, the guy was completely consistent with the White Sox, posting ERAs below 3 in like 7 years or something crazy like that. So I'm going to go with Chris Sale once again to win the Cy Young.